Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy, Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Before I get into my situation with the Milwaukee Bucks, I want to personally say, prayers to Damian Lillard, man. It's just a terrible, terrible way to end a season like that, especially when you tear Achilles tendon. It's one thing to, injure you tear your ACL, but Achilles tendon injury is the most difficult injury in all sports. I mean, lots and lots of players, it's all different types of sports, have had that same familiar injury, and it takes a lot to recover from it. And more importantly, most times you don't even come back to what you used to be before. So I know Damian Lillard is feeling really bad at this point, man, and I had the pleasure of meeting him back in 2015 in Southern California in USC. And he's one of the most nicest people you ever want to meet, man. And I just want to give him all the prayers in the world, man. We were here with you, buddy, and hopefully that you can get back on the court soon enough, man. And I know he's going to miss all of next year, too. So hopefully everything goes well with his rehab, man. But I don't know if the same Damian Lillard that we've seen, throughout his time in Portland and sometime in his time with the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't think he's ever going to be back to that same player that he once was. But hopefully we wish him all the best. But now, let me get into my situation when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Right now, they're trailing 3-1 against the Indiana Pacers. And I told people that the Milwaukee Bucks at this stage right now, with the roster that they have right now, is not guaranteed to win a championship. And unfortunately, they've proven right. They've proven me right. And I hate to say that because there's several reasons why the Bucks have not been the team that they once was when they won the championship back in 2021. Here's several issues. Number one, the duo of Damian Lillard and Giannis has not worked out well because both those guys are ball-dominant players. And more importantly, they're giving up a lot on the defensive side, particularly when it comes to Damian Lillard. When this trade was made to bring Damian Lillard to Milwaukee, they were taking a big risk in the fact that they were trading away a defensive juggernaut in Drew Holiday and replacing it with a guy that could be reliant to be a second option on the offensive end to help out Giannis. And unfortunately, it felt like those two guys have not played enough games together to really get a gear or a certain type of chemistry with one another to really gauge how they really would play together. And unfortunately, we've seen the results. It just has not worked. And the other problem is that the organization has done a terrible job, developing young players, bringing young pieces around, Giannis and several of the other players too, to really help develop this team. As you look at it right now, I remember the last time I worked with Basketball Reference, the Milwaukee Bucks right now are like the second oldest team in the NBA. So right now, as we speak, this team right now, they're no longer at their best anymore. And a lot of those same components to that team are already gone. Chris Middleton is gone. You know what I mean? Brook Lopez is now in his older age stages now. Bobby Portis is still a good player, but he's not the same as he once was. I mean, the trade for Kyle Kuzma has turned out to be a complete bust because that trade, man, is going to go down as a very bad trade because he has not done a damn thing in his time with the Milwaukee Bucks. And unfortunately, when you combine all that into consideration, and also the fact that Doc Rivers was never a good coach to begin with, and I'm always going to stay on that fence because Doc Rivers has continued to prove once and once again that when it comes playoff time, he makes no adjustments. So when you combine all these things that I've talked about, you're going to get the dysfunction of the Milwaukee Bucks. And unfortunately, they're wasting Giannis's best years because they're basically failing to acquire the certain amount of pieces, the right young pieces around him to basically help flourish his talents. I mean, right now, Giannis is in the top 3 in terms of MVP voting right now. But I don't think he's going to become MVP this year. So, when you look all those things into consideration right now, the Milwaukee Bucks right now, they're just a middle-of-the-pack team. But they're not treading water in the Eastern Conference right now because this is a team right now that should have, better quality young players around Giannis, okay? And they should have had a game plan to try to figure out which is the type of player that could work best with Giannis' skill set. And unfortunately, they've done a piss-poor job of helping out Giannis. And unfortunately, if this continues, and I've been on the fence about this, I've been saying this, at some point, Giannis is going to lose a lot of patience, and he's pretty much going to wipe his hands of the Bucks organization and pretty much said, I've had enough. I've done everything that I could to help this organization. I led them to a championship, and now they're going completely backwards, because right now Giannis is at a stage of his career where he wants to win more championships. He wants to win, MVPs. He wants to be winning more individual awards, and he wants to win more championships. So unfortunately, right now the Milwaukee Bucks are just not it, man. They have basically failed Giannis in the worst way possible, and I feel bad for him, because this guy is one of the top 5 best players in the league, and the organization that drafted him, that gave him all of the reins and the pieces early on that helped him win the championship, now are basically doing the exact thing that I suspected the Milwaukee Bucks has always done. Basically strip away all of the key components of a championship team and then basically starting over. To be honest with you, if this continues, don't be surprised if Giannis demands a trade, or when his next contract expires that he'll leave as a free agent. Because there's no way, if you're a GM, your job is to basically fulfill and try to max out every single piece of talent around your team to try to get the best out of them before their prime years are done. And unfortunately, the Bucks organization has failed that miserably. They've done absolutely nothing to help Giannis. In fact, they've stagnated, and worse yet, they have regressed significantly. And I feel really, really bad for Giannis. I do, because I don't want to see Giannis' best years getting wasted away by an inept organization that's doing absolutely nothing to help him out. It's sad, but unfortunately, if this continues, Giannis will leave eventually. I mean, there's only a certain point to where he will stay with an organization for a long period of time. But if the organization is not doing anything to help him out, then he's going to take his fate into his own hands. I mean, you can't be mad about Giannis for doing that. So, but right now, the way I see it, the Indiana Pacers right now, they're just showing that they're just a better team overall. And, Tyrese Haliburton is pretty much shutting his critics up of his poor play throughout the year. And now he's showing up in the playoffs and he's balling out. Miles Turner's been balling out. The rest of the Indiana Pacers have been balling out. People forget they were in the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago. So this is a team that can get on fire and make a good postseason run. So right now, man, I feel bad for the Bucks, but they're going to have to do a lot of roster restructuring during the offseason. And I just don't think, with considering the fact that the salary cap, how tight it is right now, and because of the fact that a lot of these teams don't want to get involved into the second tax apron, I don't think there's anything that the Bucks can do at this point to really improve the roster and really make significant changes to it. It's just impossible for me to fathom that. So, but that's what I think, man. Once again, prayers to Damian Lillard. I hope he gets better soon enough. But that's where I stand with the Bucks right now. They've really failed Giannis badly, man, and it's only so much that he can take until he decides that he's had enough. I'm not saying that he's going to do it immediately, but if this continues, I promise you, he's going to declare himself out of Milwaukee if this continues on. So, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. With that, I'm out. Peace.